Let's talk about food waste. It's a topic that's more important than ever, especially for those of us who love to grow our own food. It's a bummer, right? We've all been there. But guess what? Those wilted veggies and fruit rinds don't have to meet a sad end in the landfill. Instead of tossing them out, you can give them a new purpose. They can be reborn as black gold for your garden. Yes, I'm talking about compost, the gardener's best friend. It's easier than you think, and it's like magic for your plants. Think of composting as giving your kitchen scraps a glorious second act. Plus, it's a whole lot cheaper than store-bought fertilizer. Why spend money on chemical fertilizers when you can make your own compost at home? And it's not just about your own garden. Composting can be a community effort. Many neighborhoods have composting programs where you can drop off your food scraps. Whether you have a big backyard or just a small balcony, there's a composting solution for you. From large compost bins to small indoor setups, the options are endless. So let's turn that food waste into something wonderful. Your garden, your wallet, and the earth will all be better for it. So how do you get started with this whole composting thing? First, you have to gather your kitchen scraps. Think of it like a treasure hunt for your garden. Fruit and veggie peels, coffee grounds, eggshells. They're all welcome in the compost party. Now hold your horses. Not everything belongs in your compost pile. Avoid adding meat, dairy, or oily foods, as they can attract unwanted critters and create a funky smell. Stick to the plant-based goodies and you'll be golden. Next up, you need a place to house all those precious scraps. Think of it as a treasure chest for your garden. Every peel, every leftover, every bit of organic waste is a potential gold mine for your soil. Don't worry, you don't need anything fancy. A basic setup can work wonders. The key is to start simple and see how it goes. You can always upgrade later if you feel the need. A simple plastic bin with a lid will do the trick. It's affordable, easy to find, and does the job perfectly. Plus, it keeps everything neat and contained. Just drill some holes in the sides and bottom for ventilation. Your compost needs to breathe. Proper airflow is crucial for the decomposition process. Without it, your compost might turn into a smelly mess. You can get creative and build a DIY compost bin if you're feeling handy. Using materials like wooden pallets can be both cost-effective and environmentally friendly. Plus, it adds a rustic charm to your garden. There are tons of ideas online. From simple designs to more complex structures, the internet is a treasure trove of inspiration. Remember, location is key. Choose a spot in your yard that's easily accessible but not too close to your house, unless you enjoy the aroma of decomposing food. Accessibility ensures you can easily add scraps and turn the compost regularly. A shady spot is ideal as it helps retain moisture. Moisture is essential for the composting process, and too much sun can dry it out. A balance of shade and occasional sunlight works best. Don't forget to water your compost occasionally, and turn it with a pitchfork to keep things moving. This helps speed up the decomposition process and ensures even breakdown of materials. In a few months, you'll have rich, dark compost ready to nourish your garden. Now let's get down to business. Layering your compost like a pro. Think of it as building a delicious lasagna for your garden. Start with a layer of brown materials like dried leaves, shredded paper, or straw. These provide carbon for the composting process. Next, add a layer of green materials like your kitchen scraps. These provide nitrogen, the other key ingredient in composting magic. Aim for a 2-to-1 ratio of browns to greens. That's the sweet spot for happy composting. Composting isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing. It requires regular attention and care to ensure that the materials break down properly and efficiently. It needs a little love and attention now and then. Just like a garden, your compost pile thrives when you give it the care it needs. Every week or so, grab a pitchfork or a compost aerator and give your pile a good turn. This simple action can make a big difference in the health of your compost. This helps to mix the materials, introduce oxygen, and speed up the decomposition process. Oxygen is crucial for the microorganisms that break down the organic matter. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Getting involved in the process can be incredibly rewarding. Composting is a sensory experience. You can learn a lot by observing the texture, smell, and appearance of your compost. It should have an earthy aroma, not a foul one. A healthy compost pile smells like rich, fertile soil. If it starts to smell funky, you might need to add more brown materials or turn it more frequently. Brown materials like leaves, straw, and cardboard help balance the nitrogen-rich green materials. Remember, the key to successful composting is maintaining a good balance between green and brown materials. Too much of one or the other can slow down the process. Also, keep an eye on the moisture level. Your compost should be as damp as a wrung-out sponge. If it's too dry, add some water. If it's too wet, add more brown materials. Weather can also affect your compost. In rainy seasons, you might need to turn it more often to prevent it from becoming waterlogged. With regular turning and aerating, you'll be rewarded with rich, dark compost that will nourish your garden and help your plants thrive. So, roll up your sleeves and get turning. Your garden will thank you for it. The anticipation is real, right? You've been diligently tending to your compost pile and now you're eager to reap the rewards. But how do you know when your compost is ready for prime time? Patience, my friend. It usually takes anywhere from 2 months to a year for compost to fully mature. Look for a dark, crumbly texture and an earthy aroma. The compost should be cool to the touch, indicating that the decomposition process is complete. If you can still identify most of the original ingredients, it needs more time to break down. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. Using your homemade compost is like giving your garden a luxurious spa treatment. It's packed with nutrients that will make your plants healthy, strong, and oh so happy. You can mix it into your garden beds, sprinkle it around your plants as a top dressing, or even use it to make compost tea. Compost is a game changer for soil health. It improves drainage, aeration, and water retention, creating the perfect environment for your plants to thrive. Plus, it's a natural way to suppress plant diseases and pests. Even seasoned composters encounter a hiccup or two along the way. But fear not, we have some troubleshooting tips to keep your compost pile humming along happily. If your compost is too wet and smelly, add more brown materials and turn it more often. If it's too dry and slow to decompose, add some water or green materials. And remember, patience is key. Composting is a natural process that takes time. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen overnight. Composting is a fun, rewarding, and environmentally friendly way to transform your kitchen scraps into garden gold. It's a journey of discovery, a chance to connect with nature, and a testament to the power of transformation. So, what are you waiting for? Join the compost party and watch your garden flourish like never before. Happy composting!